that stairway leading out, the projection of where you are across the room to that opening above is directly to the North Star.
Mm-hmm.
Now, well, it's actually along the polar axis, and right now Polaris is somewhere in there, although the rotation of this, we have enough so it will be rotating sort of a larger amount as they go over the next 12 to 15,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for the large throw or opening is that you can't really see the minute hand move on your watch. But if the arm is long enough, then you actually can see the motion. The reason for this is at the night it's completely dark in there, like the dark space in Pittsburgh. So you see no form, except you see, now very brightly because it's isolated, the North Star. And this movement that you normally would not see, you now see. But the thing is that the star is the only thing, the star field right around the Polaris is the only thing that you can see. There's no other form. All around you is non-form. And the opening is not square, it's elliptical, so that as you look at it, it becomes circular. But it's actually an ellipse. But as you look through it, it's, from where you sit, it's a circle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Polaris turns in it about like this. And then you've probably experienced many times on the Swiss trains where you're in a train in a station and another train moves and you feel that you're moving.
Mm-hmm.
It's a common sensation.
Mm-hmm.
Because the field of your view seems to be moving and you have the stationary thing of this thing you're in. Well, what I've done is removed all the stationary quality of this area, of this thing you're in. There's no form of what you're in. And you only see what is out there. And that we don't feel to be moving.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it is. So you attribute the sensation to yourself moving. So you feel like you're moving yourself, a little slight disequilibrium.
Mm-hmm.
Because we read the stars as something we know to be still.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it gives you the sensation that we are moving and the stars are staying still.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, in fact, reality.
Yeah.
Which is because the Earth is spinning. And we don't tend to see the Earth as spinning.
Mm-hmm.
But it is. Actually, it's turning this way if this is north.
Mm-hmm.
So that this gives the sensation that we are, in fact, turning.
That's a little bit similar that I told you out by the crater. The evening that we spent out and I saw the stars over the top
Mm-hmm.
of the crater, and the crater was moving, or the world was moving.
You can feel that when you take away. You have to take away, particularly in the top of the crater. You feel that.
Yeah.
It's possible to also feel it down below or in the desert. You can actually feel that,
Yeah.
because then you feel it to be sort of laid out on the top of a planet, and you can feel the planet turning.
Yeah.
And that quality I like very much. So, also it's easier to get this if you're lying down.
Mm-hmm.
So that at the top of the crater, for instance, up in the very top space, there is one place where you lie with your head down, sort of as I have you lie when you look at the celestial vaulting. So right up in this space here, there's a place you lie down on top of it. It's actually a cruciform, so four people could lie down together with their feet together, and they're sloped slightly down with their heads over the end.
Mm-hmm. Then, what's for me still a secret is the ephemeral spaces.
Okay.
Well, I know
The top one, the bath.
there will be 4 spaces at the ephemeral. Is this correct?
Yeah, 3. Let's see, I'm looking at 1.
A sort of wedge structure.
There are three here, actually.
Three.
One, there's this long space is in fact another space in between. There's something that happens in there, but it's basically there's this space on top, very top of the fumeral, and underneath it is a space.
Mm-hmm.
Space on top is essentially the bath. Several things with that. One is there are three spaces where you can go into water. One is this east space with water here. One is the very space in the center of the crater. And one is this on top of the fumeral.
Mm-hmm.
This one functions as a lens in two ways, the bath does. First of all, there's a circular opening in the sky above this bath. This essentially, then the whole bath itself, the area around the bath is actually a Faraday cage. So no radiation penetrates it except for the most powerful. And then there is the bath, there's an opening that is the bath, and then there's a Faraday cage under the floor. Now the floor over here is polished petrified wood,
Mm-hmm.
hexagonal tiles centered on the center of the ancient tree. The bath itself is obsidian on the sides and snowflake obsidian on the bottom. Snowflake obsidian is like, it's almost like like snowflakes or like stars. It's a black field, little white spots.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have both those kinds of obsidian here.
Mm-hmm.
It's filled with water. Now in the middle of it, down below, there is a hole. The water actually, and the shaping of it, acts as a lens for the space down below. So light coming through is lensed on the floor below, is imaged. The sky is imaged.
Mm-hmm.
Now you only see that below at night. You won't see it during the day, except for solar noon. You'll see a very bright spot.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, but the thing itself is a radio telescope. This shape itself, because it's like a mirror. I mean, except for this center part of the lens, that's for optical light. The sides are made underneath with a metal, and that's turned slightly so that it's like an off-axis Mazutov. Comes through the electromagnetic signals that come through the opening. Everything else is shielded with the Faraday cage. Comes to this second opening. Everything around it's shielded except for this opening with the Faraday cage in the floor. Then in the bottom, there is this bottom of the bath. There is this metal shape, just like a microwave dish for television, except it's slightly tilted so that at the edge of this opening is the pickup, so that it's like an off-axis radio telescope. This is the pickup. Then in the same way you make a crystal set, that picks up radiation that you can hear. Boy Scouts make those things in the U.S., and I remember making one of these. The electromagnetic radiation is transferred into audio sound and put into the water.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you're hearing the radio noise of what is directly above you. Now when you look up, you see the stars. But if you put your ears below the water, you will hear the radio source of that area of sky that you're looking at. So it's into the water. So you are in this telescope. Now, it's a telescope optically for down below, and a radio telescope as you're in it, because it puts the sound into the water. So you don't hear the sound if you get out of the water. There's no sound, but yet if you put your ears underwater, you can hear it.
Yeah.
So I want the sort of bath in the cosmos, I guess.
Yeah.
At any rate, that's the space above. Now down below, that does happen on solar noon during the day. Each of these spaces has a night aspect and a day aspect. How it works in the night and how it works in the day. And they're quite divergent. I mean, sometimes the type of space you have during the day is completely changed so that in the night, that space's relation to all the other spaces is quite different. So it sort of shuffles the order day and night.
Mhm.
The night personality is quite often markedly different from the relationship of day personalities. But at all times you are in these spaces that are sensing spaces. They literally are made sensitive to events in the skies outside themselves.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now the space below that is the space that takes essentially sunrises and moonrises. That's this space right here. And that this opening part here first cuts it down to the fact that it only takes light from that portion of the horizon. And it goes all the way deep down into here to this saddle place here. And so that on one day of the year, the sun on the summer solstice, or June 21st approximately, the light will come all the way through these number of spaces and numbers of apertures and will be imaged on this flat stone here.
Is this a kind of wall, or just a
The stone,
yeah
this part here,
yeah this
it's just a stone. I'll start again. It's a stone that just literally accepts the light from all the way out here to
Yeah.
image it. So it's a very dark space except for this image, and it will be quite high. The moon on the opposite side is 14 foot in diameter. That's a large moon.
Yeah, you marked this, I think, by the crater with the stone
Yes, and the stake.
from the
Vent.
from the,
Chimney.
from the chimney.
Yeah.
Mm. And then this tunnel over here, this is the point where the moon will be every
0.61 years.
yeah.
That's the lunar extreme.
Yeah.
So this space in here deals with the lunar extreme this way and the solar extreme this way.
Yeah.
This is to the southwest, this is to the northeast. And there's a slight difference in these angles because the moon has further extremes. It sets further south and rises further north than does the sun. And also the reason that it's slightly off is that it's going about 8.5 degrees from the vertical to catch the sun before it sets on the horizon, because it has to look up through the tunnel to do so. So this basically is the spine of the piece. This way, on this side is solar rise, solar north rise. This is lunar south set. So it's solar, lunar, north, south, rise, set. And those are the oppositions. So that's sort of the spine of the piece. And all these other, number of these other spaces, this space and this space, these three spaces and this space, come off the spine of that alignment.
Mm-hmm.
5, 6. Okay.
And over here, there are all tunnels to the top.
Yes, there's a chamber in each one. So these are sort of lesser chambers, but they all do something. Basically, how I've looked at this is that there are a number of spaces, 12 total if you're counting this top, because I intensify an experience by isolating it. And I, in the same way, make the light brighter, the apparent light brighter, by occluding all other light that would wash it out. That means that I've made sort of narrow selections of areas of sky to attend to. So these spaces look only at certain specific areas.
Mm-hmm.
And to kind of be fair to all the possibilities in the skies here, I have to do a number of these spaces to deal with the whole sky.
Mm-hmm.
So that I've looked at the sum of the area looked at in each of the spaces being equal, or actually a little bit more than because of overlap, to the sum of the skies you could see while lying down here in the top. So these all piece together these events and orient to certain ones and make them powerful. While this last space that you come to is sort of the culmination of sort of all of them together, but intensified and shaped.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole purpose of these entries and also the shaping of the top of the crater is to shape the sky
Mm-hmm.
and also to color the sky.
Now,
I'm going to have to get maybe a little bit of window or something. I have to sleep up here.
you slept here last night?
No. But I'm going to sleep now.
Ah.
That feels good. I'm going to leave at 2:30.
You have to leave on 2:30.
Yes, to go back to the and get clothes and all that to take off.
Yeah. Just, I think,
Yeah.
2 questions. What correct Adcock told me it was about the 3 levels of the volcano.
Yeah.
The first level is the walkway,
Mm-hmm.
second is Fumarole.
Yeah, and that's repeated also over here. These are the same level, both sides. And the third level is the top.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like a step pyramid. There's the plane exists like this, and you come up from the walkway, and you go into the fumarole or the second crater on the west side, and you go up again into the crater or top. So it's like a stepped pyramid. Your path through it describes the section of a step pyramid.
And it also gives you.
We're gonna have too much noise from that, aren't we?
Wie ist es mit dem Lärm?
Maybe.
It's okay because
Okay.
this is.
Yeah.
And it also gives you the chance to see the landscape in 3 different
Levels,
levels.
which is most important because the first level up, it takes you to the it's sort of this expansion of space as you look out. And the first level being what we call the dollhouse effect. You know, when you fly, you first take off and things start to look small. They look like a model when you fly over them. There's this thing that has to do with our perception. And the first level has you there. It gives you this expanse, but you're up a ways. Now the other one is a significant increase over that. And then you go inside the crater, and you don't want to go up a mountain and down a hole, so that's why I have the tunnels, is to have you continually going up into the sky. And this last space is a bowl-shaped space held in the sky. It's made to completely shape the sky and shape your perception. The reason it's elliptical is that so as you go around it, the space of the sky changes. Because as you stay at a similar level, your vantage will look to sort of somewhat narrower and somewhat wider areas. So it will change even if you stay in the same level, but look around. And of course, as you move up it, then it begins changing very rapidly. Then, as you're at the top of the crater, as you look out, it gives that effect of the Earth curving the wrong way. Now it only is that way as you look directly out. But wherever you walk around the crater, this will follow you. This sensation of it being very steep as you look directly toward the horizon. This was described, I read first by Antoine Saint-Exupéry and other people that talk about flying somewhere between 600 feet above the surface of the Earth and about 2,800 feet.